We are back on Morning Line. Our guest is Holly Ladd. She's a wellness coach talking about healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, and the like as we embark upon the holidays and the new year. If you have resolutions, you don't do resolutions, really. I mean, maybe you do, but not for health ways. You live this every day.
I don't do resolutions, but I do sort of do intentions. Like, what do I intend my new year to look like, and what would I like to get accomplished? But I don't do it like sort of in the, this year I will lose, 10 pounds, or this year I will, because it, like you said, by February, for a
lot of people, it goes best intentions. Some people, that's what they need, and maybe if they stick to it and it works for you, that's great. But I've never found resolutions really last. You have to come up with another reason to do it. Let's go to Brian. Brian, good morning.
Morning, Healthville.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
Tomato Town, East Side. Hey, that lady who couldn't put weight on. You know what Nick's gonna say? I'm gonna recommend.
What's that?
Seriously though, we had a female relative like that. As long as she's not taller than 5'3" or so, I wouldn't be so obsessed with the 100-pound limit. But pasta, of course, she knows
skinny.
A good, tasty pasta, fettuccine. What else?
What did you have for breakfast, Brian? What did you have for breakfast?
Pasta, a good rich tomato sauce, some lasagna, which is difficult to make. Any of that. Will definitely help her. Some ice cream, low-fat ice cream. What else?
What did you have for breakfast, Brian?
I'm eating right now whole wheat bread, ham, and I don't have any lettuce. And lately, tomatoes haven't been very good unless you buy the really expensive ones. So you're going to laugh. I had the little green pepper I chopped up and I put it on it.
Nice.
And I had some low-fat, 1% milk, and I'm following up with a little bit of my orange Powerade.
Oh, orange Powerade. That sounds good. See, now, I think
vitamin D, a lot of vitamin D in it. My woman has told me to stop drinking so much of it and replace it with what we call good water. I'm out in the country and our water's not bad, but I don't know. I just said I get the big gallons and that they're cheaper that way, and I'm thinking, ask her about the water purifier while I'm on the line.
Okay. What about, did you ever recommend that, depending on where someone lives, some of these water purifiers?
Absolutely.
A lot of people swear by them.
All of us need a water purifier. You cannot trust the water that comes out of the tap.
Okay.
I mean, in tap water, there are, there can be, chlorine. I know in Nashville we use a lot of chlorine. Chlorine is horrible on the body. It depletes the microbiome. It really has negative effects on our body. Fluoride is a not a neurotoxin, but fluoride actually is bad for the body as well. Fluoride is in water, chlorine is in water. You can have trace heavy metals that just fall from the sky. So there's all of these, I could go on. There's probably 10 or 20 different substances. Even prescription drugs can be in the water supply. So everybody should be using a purifier. There's some that are better than others. Reverse osmosis is probably the gold standard, but that's expensive and pricey. But if at the bare minimum, just get one of those countertop jugs with a filter and make sure you're pouring your water through the filter and not drinking out of the tap.
Or you could buy, like he was saying, he was buying, I guess, large containers of bottled water.
Yeah, and if you are, try to avoid them in plastic, because there's chemicals in those plastic bottles that we should not be ingesting in our bodies.
Yeah.
So
see, I drink a lot of bottled water, and unfortunately it's in a lot of plastics. And I don't know, there's certain different ones I know too. Like a lot of people have plastic water bottles at the gym, and there's certain ones that you look at for what's certain bottles are supposedly safer than others based on some type of chemical makeup and plastic.
So BPA has been shown to be the sort of most toxic ingredient in plastics. So if you're looking for a bottle, look for BPA free, but it's been replaced by this stuff called BPS, which is suspect. So, replace your plastic bottle if you can with a stainless steel bottle. You can get them all over town now, or a glass bottle, even a glass mason jar.
See, but I'm all about Perrier.
Well, Perrier comes in a glass bottle, no?
Yeah, but those are the big, and that's really expensive. I go to Costco and buy a big crate of Perrier's, every few weeks, and just put it in the fridge. And that's basically, I don't drink much tap water anymore, but it's usually but it's his plastic bottle. Yeah. And
so the concern, you have to be concerned if that was left on a hot dock, and then the chemicals in the plastic mix with the water, and then you're drinking the chemicals.
It could just seep into it or something. What about other containers in terms of drinking out of a let's say styrofoam?
No.
Nope, not a problem.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Of styrofoam.
I know styrofoam is bad for landfills and frankly, so are plastic bottles. But is there an issue with if you reuse styrofoam? Like sometimes you get a soda and then you can get more ice in there because it does insulate better.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You know what? You threw me for a loop. I mean, I don't know, but it's chemicals. So anything that's made through a chemical process, I try to avoid.
I'm trying to think. So you're saying stainless steel is probably, or glass?
Glass and stainless steel would be the two preferred.
Those Yeti mugs are a big thing now. A lot of people carry, which is great. Those are steel and such, and they keep everything warm or cold.
Absolutely. That's a great option.
Gosh, I never thought about
the
that.
old canteen, remember? Like Boy Scouts, the canteen?
Yep.
Metal?
Or a thermos, a Coleman thermos or something like that of the old days, if you like something like that around.
Right.
And it does insulate. That's the nice thing about it. It would insulate everything. And I guess I could get one of those makers that makes my own spritzer water. See, that's the thing. I like something bubbly of some type. It doesn't have to have flavor. It's not, I don't drink sodas, but I want something that's kind of like a seltzer or soda. Like sometimes if I'm at a restaurant, I'll get a soda. I'll say I just want water, but I'll go up there and what I do is I hit the soda button, and so what comes out is just the seltzer by itself. I don't know. For some reason, every once in a while, I like that. A lot of people probably think that's gross.
No, I like the bubbles.
Yeah,
bubbles are
it
good.
has a little flavor to it sometimes as well. I mean, it almost.
You mean like a little Coke residue?
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. No, not Coke. It almost tastes sometimes like there's. I don't know, not baking powder. So it just has kind of a bite to it when
minerals.
Yeah, I don't know what it is that gives it. It's not natural carbonation, I guess, right? Most stuff isn't natural. It's
CO2, right?
CO2, exactly, and that gives it a flavor. Yeah, it's crazy. You got to think about what you're drinking, not just what you're drinking, but what you're drinking out of.
I know. I mean, it's really come to that, unfortunately.
But that's a clean way a green way to live if you have reusable containers, which I should do. But aside from that, I was asking you about coffee, and you drink 1 cup of coffee a week.
I do, but it's for my biochemistry, right? So some people react strongly to coffee, and for some people it doesn't work with.
Well, how does yours biochemistry react with you? What does coffee do for you?
Oh, I get the jitters. I'm very sensitive to caffeine, right?
Oh, okay,
I love the flavor of coffee.
So you do like to have a cup of it?
I do.
Yeah.
But I just hold on to till the weekend, and on Sunday morning I just make that Nespresso and make my latte and enjoy the heck out of it.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Now, do you believe coffee and caffeine can help in terms of muscle aches, things like this, or is there any therapeutic, connection to coffees?
From what I understand and some of the research out there, there's actually connections between coffee and brain health, coffee and cardiovascular health. I mean, coffee can be very, very helpful. But I think we abuse it.
Oh yeah, it's an excess. That's the problem. But I'm telling you, a cup of coffee a day or every day for me, or I used to take Excedrin, okay, and whenever I have a headache. I don't do that anymore. But why does that work so great? I take it, and a few minutes later, my headache's out, and it's just packed with caffeine.
Right.
And I don't know, caffeine, I guess, does something with the blood and arteries, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But it works. And coffee, to some degree, when I stopped drinking it, trying to kick it for a while, and I'm pretty active, my aches and pains were worse. And when I went back to having, in moderation, maybe 2 cups a day, I felt a lot better.
And again, there's that bio-individuality. For you, you feel a lot better. For me, if I had 2 cups of coffee a day, I'd be,
Okay, but that's not like drinking like a whole giant sugary Coke, which would be worse for you.
That would be much
Coffee
worse.
by itself, by the way, mine's black.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You go to Starbucks or someplace like that and you order one of those really fancy, crispy, sweet. Have you noticed you get one of those, even a taller or venti or something, that has like 1,000 calories in some of those things.
And you know how much sugar's in that?
Oh, I know. It's a ton. They taste great.
32 teaspoons of sugar there, baby.
32 teaspoons.
In some of them.
How many teaspoons in a 12-ounce Coke you think of sugar? It's something crazy.
12 ounce, you said?
Something, yeah.
Around maybe 11 or 12
tablespoons of
teaspoons.
Teaspoons of sugar.
I mean, that's 12 cubes, right? Would you just sit there eat 12 cubes?
That's just
right?
I get sick. I
mean, sugar is my thing, right? Let's eliminate sugar, and we'll all do a lot better.
Yeah, that's what you always say.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we'll take a break. When we come back, more of your calls. Jules and others, stay where you are. We'll take your calls right after this. Don't wait for them.